Welcome, Leos. Thank you for coming to my channel. I hope you enjoy the reading here. It is a general reading. It may also apply to somebody that is close to you at this time. So now in the first house, we have Pluto transformation. So now the first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body. It's also your appearance, how you are coming across to others, what you're projecting to others, what they see when they see you. So it's your physical body, but it's also your personality and your observable characteristics. It's also your self-oriented interests and very personal issues to do with yourself and how you are making your way in the world, how you're being received by others as well. So now with Pluto transformation coming in there, it's a powerful card. It really does say what it is. It's transformation. So this is affecting how you are coming across to others. You may be coming across as being quite intense or maybe even secretive and sort of having sort of quite a lot of personal power or sort of deep power. You may also just be making transformational changes in all areas of your life, or just really going within to do some deep self-analysis. This card also brings in renewal or regeneration. So whether this is something to do with a physical issue or renewal, perhaps you've had a sticky period with the health issues, and now you're getting over that and you're starting to regenerate, or maybe you've had a little bit of an injury or something, but it's all about renewal and regeneration. Sexuality comes up very strongly with this as well. So, you could be coming across as that, or really using, harnessing that in a relationship at this time. Pluto also rules the underworld, so something could also very well be coming to the surface for you at this time. So whether this is in your environment, or whether it's out of your personal, how you feel. So it's your feelings, it's your desires, it's your personal power, or it could even be a secret. Something is coming up into the light. And so this could be very personal, or it could be, to do with issues that you're facing in your current life at this time. So it also kind of brings in beginnings and endings. So something will end and something will begin. You may feel a bit uneasy at this time over that. There could also be a few power struggles going on because this is Pluto. Something from the past may not turn out to be what you thought, and it could be a little bit upsetting as well. So you thought it was one way, and it actually turns out not to be like that at all. That can happen. Also, please watch your finances, and also issues to do with tax. Any of those sorts of things can really affect you at this time. So now also with this card, because it's appearing in your first house, your seventh house, which is the opposite of the first, the seventh house deals with all your relationships. So how you are in yourself and what you're projecting outwards is ultimately going to directly affect your relationships as well. So what's going on under the surface in you is also going to come out, but it's also going to affect any close personal relationships as well. In the second house, we have Black Moon Lilith, mystery. So the second house is everything to do with your money, your income coming in. It's also to do with all your possessions, what you own. It also rules your self-worth and your sense of security. It's also your value systems and property, real estate, anything like that comes into this second house. So with this card coming in, it can manifest in different ways, but it could be that something's not clear to you at this time. So you might just have to wait a bit for it to resolve itself, or for something to sort of occur. As I said, things may be coming to the surface as well, and it does kind of appear elsewhere in your chart, where perhaps you may just need to wait until the timing is right in order to do certain things. So it's you may also be waiting for something to happen. You may also be sensing undercurrents around you as well, or just sensing something's coming but you can't quite see what it is or sense what it is 100%. The other side of this is also the darker feminine, which is command and strength. The darker feminine is almost like the witch side of us, but it's all those strong, deep emotions, which can also turn negative as well, and that becomes emotions to do with anger and bitterness, envy, even obsession as well. Revenge comes in there as well. But it could also just be that you may just have to command, your inner strength, not give in. It can also indicate rebellion or feeling alone. So it's sort of secret emotions, that sort of inner strength. But it really does bring in the darker feminine. So whether this is to do with, perhaps something has occurred with your money coming in and you're just not happy about it, or you're not sure what's going on, or it could even be that you may just have to really stand in your strength over something. But don't forget, the second house also rules self-worth and your value systems as well. So you could be having a challenge of some sort in that area. Then in the third house, we have fire element, desire. Third house is everything to do with communication. It's also to do with what you're learning at this time. It covers all kinds of communication, so that's verbal, written, even body language. It also covers your neighbors, and it covers short journeys, and it covers documents and contracts of all kinds. So it's self-expression in all these different forms as well. So with fire element, desire, this is about, as I said, how you express yourself. And this could be to others around you, but it's it could be family members, it could be siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, those sorts of relatives, or it could be the greater public, other people that are around you at this time. So it's how you communicate, how you go about that, and it's also about this card brings in determination. It brings in desire. So it's the what you want, and it's about being assertive about what you want. But it also, you need to be honest as well with yourself and with others. You may also be acquiring a new perspective of some kind on perhaps how you need to do things going forward. Perhaps it's some kind of realization or a wake-up call. It's also about having courage to initiate certain things in any one of those areas. You could be experiencing sudden changes or spontaneous change, or you could be experiencing a new start of some sort. If you're learning something, you could be changing that and going in a different direction altogether. But it could be a very quick action as well. So one day you're doing one thing and the next day you've got to change it. It's also about having daring as well. So if you're wanting to change the way you communicate, or you're busy with some kind of contract, or you may how you go about it may undergo some kind of change, or you may just realize something really important to do with that. This third house also covers short trips. So you may come to an understanding about something, or something may change at the last minute, or you could just really have start something completely new and go off to a different place altogether, and it brings in some form of learning, or you get some kind of realization while you're away. But these are like short trips. No, it's not a long journey. It's sort of in your local area as well. Then in your fourth house, you have Sagittarius IC. So your fourth house is everything to do with your home, your physical home. It's also your the energies and emotions and things going on in your home. It's also your relationship to your roots, your foundation, your family tree. Where you came from, your ethnic identity, your ancestors, that kind of thing. It all comes in to your fourth house. But it really is the foundation of your life, but it's also your actual physical home, and the energies going on in your home. So with Sagittarius IC coming in, you may just be feeling really restless at this time, desiring more freedom, however that applies for you. And you may just want to, or you may need to at this time, change your routines. Maybe you're just so bogged down in your same old routine that you really are just tired of it now, and you need to change things up, or you need to get rid of them altogether for a period, just to give yourself some breathing space. Because Sagittarians are restless, they love to explore, they like being outdoors, they enjoy freedom, a lot of freedom. So you may be requiring that at this time in your home environment. It's out of the ordinary. If you're changing your space, it's a very creative energy, but it's you're going to want to make it larger than life. You may also need to create some sort of outdoor space for yourself. You may also be expanding in your home in some way. Maybe you're making additions, or you're changing the size of your home, but you're expanding your environment. If you're wanting to change the colors in your home, it could be you're bringing in sort of the blues and the violet colors. It could just be a simple paint change. It could also be that you have someone in your home who is inspiring big ideas in you. They're inspiring perhaps travel ideas, or they're just larger than life. They're very social and very outgoing. So you may have somebody like that in your home which is going to, inspire you in different ways. You could also be, when it comes to your roots and your foundation and your ethnic identity and so on, you could also be experiencing religious or a philosophical approach to that. Perhaps you're putting to bed old issues that have kind of dogged you, or you're looking at things now differently. But it's almost like it's got religious or possibly philosophical overtones to it as well. Then in the fifth house, we have South Node, life's debts. So this is a card which is about karmic issues, but it's also about old baggage that needs to be dropped or dealt with. So now in your fifth house, this is the house of children, your children or somebody else's children, children that you're associated with. It is also the house of creativity in all forms, which is not necessarily artistic. Can be any form of creativity, whether it's handwork or how you speak or how you dress or how you conduct yourself. The work that you do, it could be creative. There's lots of ways this can come in. It's also the house of love affairs. So this could be a love affair that you're grappling with at this time and you're dealing with. It could also be the fifth house is also to do with all forms of recreational activity. So having fun, going out, socializing in those sort of recreational activities. But with this card coming in, it's quite a strong card. So this is bringing up karmic issues. These are things that you need to deal with now. You need to leave the past behind and in order to move forward. It's very necessary growth at this time. So growth out of what was into what must be. So if there's something finished or something unresolved in your life, you need to deal with that. It can bring in endings and beginnings of all kinds. And it could be really quite a strong ending and a fresh new start. And it will feel hard in the beginning, but ultimately it's putting you on the road, a better road, your road to your future. You may, if you're in a comfort zone or a rut, you need to get out of it, because you can't deal with this life's mission. You can't get on to bring out the very best, the highest potential of yourself, or even of it could be your children that are facing this as well. So they could be going through all these things. In order to reach your highest potential, or for your children to reach your highest potential, or for your love affair to reach its highest potential, you have to let go of the past. You have to close the doors, finish things, sort out unresolved issues, and move forward. And it's also about preparing for the future. So all of those things must be tidied away. You may be facing blocks and obstacles, and if that is the case, then that is telling you that it's not the right path for you. You need to actually, if you can't resolve it, or you're going to have to let it go. And it's also about making new contacts which are going to carry you forward into your future. So it's all about letting go of the past, closing the doors on that, so that you are preparing for a new future. And it can come up in any one of those areas of the fifth house. Then in the sixth house, which is this is your house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues. It's also your house of daily routines. It's also the house of health and diet, and it's the house of pets. So now with air element communicating coming in, it's exactly what it says. But this is also, when it's to do with work, or it's also about mastering your craft, whatever it is that you do in your daily life. So now with the air element communicating coming in, is exactly that. The air element is about communication in all forms, but it's also about thinking. So you're going to need to think things through, about what you want to do in any one of those areas. You need to apply logical thought. You're going to have to be objective. It's also about gaining clear sight, seeing things clearly. And you're also going to need to put into words what you want. Your words and the way you think and the words that you use are going to be very, very important at this time in that area of your life. You're going to need to be honest as well, honest with yourself and honest with others. This card is also the card of manifestation. So what you think and what you say is going to manifest for you. So ensure that your thoughts are positive, that what you say is positive, and you only focus on what you want, what you're trying to bring into your life, and not on lack, and not on difficulty, and not on troubles. You want to bring in the positive things in your life, and you can only do that by focusing on the best parts of what you want to bring in. It's also you may be sort of dealing with learning institutions, whether this is science or technology, that may also come in. Air travel may come in to do with your work as well. When it comes to your health and diet, this is all about the brain and the eyes and your voice as well. So you could be struggling with a bit of overthinking, so it's like headaches and eye strain, things like that. You may also lose your voice as well. And that is a time then to go inward and reflect on what it is that you actually need to say. So all of those issues may come up for you at this time. In the seventh house, you have part of fortune increase. It's a lovely card. So this is coming in for you in your house of relationships. This is close personal one-on-one relationships, and it's also so that can be a love relationship, or it could be a business partnership, or a relationship with someone else in your environment that you have a close personal one-on-one relationship with. So now part of fortune increase. So this is, as I said, your first house was all about transformation, and a lot of deep sort of emotions and transformation going on there, and that's going to affect this card. So I feel if you input what we discussed in the first house, it will bring about this in your house of relationships as well. So, but if this is to do, this card brings in destiny and fate in your relationship. So what this means is that the person that you are in this relationship with, you will help each other reach greater heights and overcome challenges. So it's your highest potential. So the two of you have agreed to do this, to be in this relationship, to bring about those goals that you want. It would have been very difficult for you to do it on your own, but joined together, you're going to help each other. It's the reason you are together. All right. So it's all this card also means the stirring of the waters to release hidden talents and abilities. So you could easily do that for each other. It's also about healing difficult issues or conflicts, finding balance. But you've got to work together with this person in this relationship to harness the very best benefits for that. But it's a very beneficial card, and it really can really propel you to greater heights in your relationship. Then in the 8th house, we have Virgo, I analyze. The 8th house is to do with your big finance. So this is accounting, banking, insurances, investments, taxes, and legacies, inheritances, anything like that. It's also dealing with other people's resources or money. So if you're in a profession where you deal with that, it's also it's also the house of sexuality. It's the house of personal power, and it's also the house of beginnings or endings and beginnings. So a very powerful house. So some things may die off in this house and regenerate from that. Regeneration came up before. But in any case, what you need to do with Virgo, I analyze in this house, is what this is asking you to do is to get organized. This house also covers the merging of your emotional and material resources in a relationship. So this is a love partnership or a business partnership. It's the merging of your resources, emotional and material. So you need to get organized. Whatever it is you're going to do, whatever you're going to bring about in any one of those areas, whether it's your finances or however you want to do this, it must be useful. It's got to be useful. Things must serve a purpose. You're going to have to streamline how things are going to be done, or how you're going to merge, or what you're doing with your finances. You need to get rid of or release what is not working for you. So you need to assess the details. You've got to analyze the results, go through the details, analyze the results, and figure out what is working, what is not working, and apply critical thinking into what it is that you want to do. You're going to have to address problems as well, and you need to be reliable in what you're doing. So if you're dealing with other people's money, you need to be reliable in what you're doing, and you need to be able to bring up the figures and the spreadsheets, and actually have control of the facts and the figures. With this as well, Virgo can bring in sort of criticism, whether you're being critical or someone is being critical of you. It can also bring in worries, worry you perhaps worrying about things, overthinking, nitpicking is the other side of this. So you need to aim for a balance where, yes, you do need to get organized and streamline and get control of the facts and figures, but not to the point where you're just annoying everybody around you and obsessing about detail. Okay, there is a fine line there. There's a balance to be had. Then in the ninth house, we have Sun Spirit, lovely card coming in. So the ninth house is you meeting the world, or the world coming to you. So this is international travel of all kinds. It's foreign cultures, anything foreign, whether it's foreign people, foreign cultures, foreign ideas, foreign concepts, foreign products, so import, export, anything like that. The ninth house also covers exploration and adventure. Okay, so it covers other things like higher education, so university education or adult education. This ninth house also rules religion, philosophy, and teaching. It also brings in public promotions, so public relations, promotional work, publishing. It's also the house of law. And it's the house of in-laws. So with Sun Spirit coming in there, this is a very positive, uplifting card to be having in that house. So with the Sun Spirit card coming in, it brings in all nostalgic ideas to do with summer, or yearning for summer, or experiencing summer. So that's all the joys of the summer months. You could be sort of planning events over that period, or it could be just simply that you're inspired and you want to travel to a warm place or a sunny place, or just inspiration to travel and explore. So it's the freedom of that. This brings in inspiration. It could also be you harnessing your inner spirit and radiating that outwards. So therefore you will be very influential in what you're doing in any one of those ninth house areas. You may also just be getting the strength to get things done in those areas. It's about enthusiasm. It's your personal brand. It's positivity. Being positive. Also, this card can also bring in being noticed. So you could be noticed in some way, whether this is on the stage or in some area to do with the ninth house. But you will, possibly be in the limelight in some way. You could also win a prize or win a reward of some kind. You will also be required to show leadership in some way. And this card can also bring in majesty, so feeling majestic or feelings of majesty. So really feeling good about what is going on. And it can also bring in divinity as well. So possibly that is applicable for you if you are in studying or you're involved with philosophical projects or religious projects. It also brings in creativity. So whether you're writing and wanting to publish something, it also brings in children. So whether you're teaching children or and perhaps you want to do a play for the summer months, or you are involved in them with children in some way, whether you're writing a book for them, it's all very positively indicated. It's also about having fun. So enjoyment, relaxation, and the love and the lovely warmth that this card brings in for you. In the 10th house, we have earth element stability. 10th house is the house of career. It's a house of fame, reputation, public status, ambitions, authority figures, and somebody who's really influential in your life. It could even be a father figure or a mother figure, whoever's the most influential in your life, or it could be a mentor as well. So with earth element stability coming in, what you may be asked to bring in is to make sure that you are grounded, that you're rooted, and you must stand firm. So your roots must be buried firmly in the ground. So you bend and sway with whatever is going on around you in any one of those areas, but you stay rooted. You're really firmly grounded and you're standing firm. You've got a solid base. That's what this brings in. It's about being practical. It's about using your inner wisdom. It's also not a rushing card. This is a take your time card. So whether this is a career goal you're after or something that you're toiling away wanting to do or something that you're working on in conjunction with a mentor, or it could be the mentor that is very grounded and very practical and got a lot of wisdom and who is is going to give you that stability that you require. It could be that coming in. This person could be very traditional, or you could be quite traditional. It's about doing what works and having patience as well. So the other side of this can also be you or somebody that you're with in your work environment, or a mentor or a father figure who's very stubborn, and they have a fear of trying something new. They're kind of stuck, and they lack trust. That could also be coming in as well. You could be seeing that, or it could be in you. This card also brings in all real estate matters as well. So whether you're involved in real estate, perhaps you work in that field, or you own real estate. It's also about buying and selling land, whether this is you personally, or it's part of your profession. It's also about yes, having land, so a plot of land or plots of land, but also living and being close to nature. So whether you grow your own food or you just want your own space or a beautiful garden, this is all highly indicated with this card. As I said, it's the land and everything to do with the land. It's also, you could be embarking on a career to do with the land, whether it's environmentalism or some kind of earthy interest of yours. And it's also about making very powerful connections that are going to assist you in any one of the 10th house areas going forward. So powerful connections to be made there. Then in the 11th house, we have Mars force. So the 11th house covers... it's everything to do with it's friendships. It's also any kind of group that you may be a member of. So social groups, or it could be your associates or a society or a club. So it could be sports as well. And Yeah, it could be some kind of it could even be a book club, but it's some kind of group that you remember of and where you are involved. But it's also your friendships. It's also your personal hopes and dreams, your wishes, and your hobbies and interests. This 11th house also covers social reform on a wider scale and global consciousness and trends. So harnessing trends as well, trends in society. So with Mars force coming in, you may have to, in any one of those areas, you may have to compete or fight for something or defend yourself in some way. Because this has got that sort of warlike energy coming in for you. You may also just be challenged, really, in any one of those areas. But it's about passionate action as well. So this could be to do with a hobby or an interest or a dream that you're chasing. It's about passionate action, feeling driven. It's about measured and direct action. So setting your course, your mark, and going for it. It could also be sports and games that you're involved in, and all the competition and so on that goes into that. You may have to defend. You may have to fight for what you want. It depends. It's really about competition if it's to do with a sport or a game. The military also comes in here as well. So you may be involved in the military in some way, or maybe a friend is. Or you are part of a group that is involved sort of in military actions in some way. It could be that. Or it could just be that you are seeing this in your groups or in your friendships. It could also be just simply going after your goals, whatever those may be for you, your personal hopes and wishes and your interests and hobbies. Really, it's like a fire has been lit under you and you're going for it now. It's also you may be pushed by someone else. You may be pushed into action or pushed to do something, and that can be a good thing, or you may just feel like you need to just say no. But it's almost like being driven. That's what this card will do. There may be flare-ups with an odd friend or in the group that you're a member of. But there also could be too much rushing, a lot of energy going into what you're doing. So that's why I say take measured, direct action. Try to avoid rushing at this time in whatever 11th house area comes up for you this time. The 12th house, Grand Cross Provoker. So the 12th house is the house of the unconscious. It's also your spiritual life. Mysticism and so on. It's also the house of solitude and reflection, sort of retreats and withdrawals and things like that. It's also the house of escapism and addictions, endings, resolutions and endings. It's also the house of experiences that you have in various types of institutions. So this can be hospitals, universities, libraries, government departments, banks, any kind of institution that your experience is there. So whether you're working in one of those environments or you're involved in it somehow. But I feel that the emphasis for this is the institutions, your experiences there, healing, and any addictions that may be coming up with you or another one that's very close to you, or issues to do with service. So whether you work in the service industry or you are required to be involved with acts of service. Grand Cross Provoker, what this brings in for you is pressure, a bit of tension, frustration as well. Things just may not be going the way you want or moving fast enough for you, and there's sort of growth, but it can be a little bit painful as well in this house. It's also about how you're communicating, because you're going to be under pressure and you're going to be feeling tension, and it's how you're communicating about that as well. Are you lashing out, or are you communicating effectively about what is going on? You may also just be juggling many different things at once, and getting really nowhere, and the frustration to do with that. The best way to deal with this card in whatever those areas are for you, it really is about prioritizing and then focusing on your top priorities, because you can't do it all. You can't do everything. So you've got to actually prioritize and focus on the things that are most important for you. And this could be even just some unconscious belief which you have, or a whole lot of unconscious issues which are now coming to the surface and you've got to deal with them. But it could also be that you are required to harness a variety of talents and abilities that you have at once, and it's the juggling of that. Because this is the house of the unconscious as well. So this could be issues coming up for you, and now you've really got to pull out all the stops to deal with what is going on. But it's important not to give up. This is about discipline, being organized, and also diligent in all that you do. And you might have more than one path which you're trying to assess which is the right one for you. And it's the pressure and the tension of trying to make those decisions and so on. So, but I do feel that this is the areas that are covered here are the institutions, your personal healing, or addictions of all kind. Maybe perhaps you work in that, or you're dealing with your own addictions, and it's the house of service as well. So service, the service areas of your life. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share as well, because if you share, then other people will get to see the readings. Have a wonderful birthday month, many happy returns, and take care, and I will see you next time.